Good morning, boys and girls. Today, I have an amazing surprise. Something that's just like a real treat. And it's right outside this garage door that's going to be super noisy to open. But here we go. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Told you wouldn't be disappointed. This is a 2021 C8 Corvette with the 3LT and Z51 package. So this is pretty much as fully loaded as I believe you can get these things. Excuse me. I still have my cough. And yeah, this thing has just been a blast. It is not mine, unfortunately. I just have it for a few more hours, actually. I've had it the whole weekend. And it has been a blast to drive around Southern California with this. Just an incredibly awesome, fun car. I think you all know everything about this car. 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. Just packed with really great tech. 6.2 liter V8. What else? It's awesome. But let's do this. Let's go back here, and we're gonna just double click the remote here and give you guys a little listen. That is the sound of the stock exhaust at the C8 Corvette. Hopefully that didn't overdo the mic too much. But before we get going, I'm just going to show you quickly how the top comes off on this thing. Let's see. I think you have to unlock first and then hit the button. There it goes. Look how fast that is. I think I counted something like 13 seconds or something like that. But so it comes in two pieces. Goes back there and done. And then I believe we can also go the other way, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe not. Anyway, I'm not going to be riding it in a convertible mode this morning because it is kind of cold out. And just want to take a quick ride with it. And as some of you guys know, I just got my GT4 recently. And honestly, I have to say, this does almost everything the GT4 can do. Minus the really sharp handling, but it can do a hell of a lot more things for, even at the markup, for less of a price. These are some beautiful seats. These are like carbon buckets that are just beautifully stitched. This is in the 3LT trim, obviously. And we're gonna get in here and take a look at so if you're not familiar with the C8, got your heads-up display up there, and it's a really amazing heads-up display. Got these three adjustments for it down here. This excuse me, gives you the different mode. Actually, that's, I believe, the different modes. Yeah, some switching between modes. Probably really hard for you to see. Let me just zoom in on it so you can see it. There you go. So let's see. And then this moves it up and down. And I think the last one is like the brightness of it. But super cool heads-up display. This display is just incredible. I have it linked on a setting where it links with the drive modes, which you select down here. So currently I'm probably in my let's see, I was in the tour mode, which is where it starts. I can go one to the right, which is sport mode, and that changes the display, as you can see. And then you can go to track mode, which is actually my favorite mode to even just drive around town in. It changes the display to a track display, and all of this is pretty configurable. And then there is also one called My Mode, which is this. these two displays work kind of in tandem together. So right now I have it at my on my Apple CarPlay, which is wireless, by the way. Again, another great thing. And you can put your phone back here where you got a wireless charger. This is what I'm not a huge fan of, and I think a lot of people are not a huge fan of it. Just this like really long and drawn out button system. But honestly, you only muck with it once in a while, so it's not a big deal. I'll go over some of the really awesome features really quick because I do not want this video to take forever. We're going to put the top up. Super quick, and then folding top motion complete. All right, and I'm going to show you this one feature here. So this is currently a mirror. As you can see my phone recording, and look at that. You no longer see my phone recording because that is now a video feed from the rear view camera. This is obviously disabled when the car's in when the top is down because the camera is mounted to the top of the roof. But how cool is this? This is a mirror that is behind the car, and it takes a little bit of getting used to, but not that much, like just a few minutes, and you're like, this is like your new thing. Not awesome at night, especially with like headlights behind you, but like realistically, it's so good. It's almost incredible. Another thing I want to point out is this little symbol right here. So that is the front axle lift system for you to go over bumps and whatnot, and this button over here activates it. What's amazing about this system is you can have it remember GPS points where you want that to happen, and it is surgically good and very fast and quick. I think it lifts the front in less than 2 seconds, or in about 2 seconds. And I've got it set up to my driveway because I've got a pretty steep driveway, and honestly, as I'm coming up the hill, it just goes bzzz, and I'm on, and you know, I just started the car and it already lifted. I've done this I've already had it memorized to several locations that I kind of go to, and it's super easy to do that, by the way. Let's say you're approaching a driveway, you hit the button, it comes up, and then it asks you, do you want to save this? And you just hit the left toggle here, and that's it. That's all you have to do, and it saves it. And yeah, it's been just an absolute joy to drive this car, especially in a place like Southern California where you can put the top down all the time. This Bose stereo system, I don't know how many speakers this is, but it is a really, really great setup. It sounds really good. I mean, probably could be better, but it sounds excellent in my opinion. You got the Z51 package in this specific car, which comes with the Z mode, which you can configure. You can also configure my mode, and then there's quite a few other things you can do with this car. I'm probably going to forget some of them, but I want to go for a quick drive just because I only have this car for a couple more hours, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about it, and get some driving videos. So let's do that. Okay, you're not going to believe this, but my audio didn't record. This is not the first time GoPro has done this to me, and it probably won't be the last time, but man, it really hurts. I actually contemplated not even uploading this video because it seems like it wouldn't be worth it. You're just going to be looking at my face pretty much the rest of this, but I'll try to give you some valued input as to my 3 days driving experience with the C8 Corvette. So yeah, basically, I can tell you that just my impression of this car is super different than what I first went to pick it up. I knew I was going to drive a really fast car. I knew it was going to be powerful, and I knew it was going to be good. I didn't realize how good it was going to be. It is by far one of the best driving experiences that I've ever had. And I've driven Ferraris, McLarens, Porsches. I just recently purchased a GT4 Porsche, and it's actually down at the shop getting some PPF installed. And my previous car was an Acura NSX, so I'm not a stranger to fast cars, and this absolutely blew me away. There is so much tech in this car. There's so much value in this car. It is so absolutely mind-blowingly fast. And this is a scene where I'm actually kind of trying to go a little faster. And it just, every time you floor it, there you go, holy crap. Again, not having the audio to this really upsets me. But with that said, just the entire experience is phenomenal. I mean, this car, it gives you just about everything you could possibly want out of a sports car, and it's a convertible to top it off. And this, I mean, this one is a convertible. This is the 3LT, and with a Z51 and convertible, and so like all the options. I don't really know what all the other trims are like, and whether or not there is you know, a lot of value in upgrading from like the 2LT to the 3LT. That's something you may have to research, but I wouldn't get this car any other way. I mean, the fit, the trim, just everything about it was absolutely perfect. There was no rattling, there was no looseness to the body or the interior pieces. The comfort of the seat was just phenomenal. We drove in LA traffic for hours and had no fatigue from that at all. Just a really great overall driving experience. And then when it comes to Corvettes, you know, the basic impression is that it's going to be fast, but it's not going to handle well. But I can tell you that the C7, that was definitely the case with my experience anyway. My brother had a C7 Corvette. I drove it a few times, and I just couldn't really get the thing to do what I wanted it to do. It certainly wasn't what I would call sharp handling. This handles as well as just about any car. It's not quite as sharp as some of the supercars, and it's not as fast as, I mean, it's not as sharp and quick to turn as like some Porsches are, where you got that super direct, immediate connection, you know, from the steering wheel to the wheel. It's just a smidge behind those, but I think that is actually what you want from this Corvette, unless you're looking for a track weapon, right? If you're looking for a track weapon, maybe you want something slightly more sharp, but if you're trying to drive this every day, that's exactly how you want it set up. I mean, it's just incredible. The different driving modes are phenomenal. There's the My mode, there is touring mode, sport mode, track mode, and then there's the Z mode, which the Z mode and the My mode you can configure however way you want. And I ended up actually driving it mostly in track mode or tour mode. I didn't really see much of a point in the sport mode. But again, I've only had a few days experience with the car. I'm sure if I drove it longer, I would discover more things, and maybe I would enjoy the sport mode more. One thing that is, I would say, my only gripe about the Corvette was the launch control mode is actually kind of difficult to get into. Nowadays, you know, some car companies have actually figured it out. Put your foot on the brake, put the other foot on the gas, and floor it, and then, you know, take your foot off the brake, and you're gone. With this car, you have to kind of put it in track mode. You have to double tap the traction control. You got to set which setting you want it in. That's really nice because it's configurable. But if you just have the car for a little while and you just want to get some perfect launches, it's actually not that simple to do. So, I mean, that's a very minor gripe. The other gripes were again all really minor. I did notice a couple of little glitchy things, like the remote, like the key fob remote didn't always seem consistent in opening the front trunk or the frunk or whatever, but just some very minor things. I did actually hear some rattling inside the car at some point. It almost sounded like a chirping, but then it stopped and it went away and it never came back. It was weird. I really couldn't figure it out. And then from a design perspective, I really don't like the design of the rear of the car. I think that's been very controversial. That laundry basket bullshit they did with the vents is just kind of annoying to look at. But otherwise, the side view, the front view, top view, every other angle is just a gorgeous car. And in this trim, with the white, with the black top, I think that's 10 out of 10 times I would pick that exact setup. It was phenomenal. And then another thing is, this car gets a lot of attention. a lot of attention. Everywhere I drove this car, all the eyes were on this car. It's not something I'm super comfortable with. I don't necessarily like that, but if that's what you're looking for, you're going to get a lot of that, at least for a period of time, I feel like. But keep in mind that that's a two-edged sword. The cops are going to see you there, more as well. So. And then one other thing I noticed is everybody wanted to race me, and I wasn't trying to do that with this car because it isn't my car, and I was trying to be somewhat responsible with it. I did go pretty fast with it, and you can see in some of these scenes the background's moving at a very quick pace, and I did hit quite a bit of traffic and whatnot. But so let's just recap really quick. 495 horsepower in this thing, and it just rips. There is, you have a hard time getting traction for the most part. Again, if you can't figure out the launch control quickly at a moment's notice, you're going to spin your wheels. I didn't pay too much attention to what kind of tires were on this specific car, whatever it comes with, I'm sure. That may help. I'm not certain, but again, plenty of power. You probably will never need more power, but the Z06 is going to give you a ton more power. I don't even know how the hell they're going to keep this car on the road with the Z06. In fact, they may have to re-engineer much of the car just to get that much more power in there, and I'm sure they have. So that's power-wise. Handling-wise, I thought it was quite sharp, as good as most cars well above its class, as good as most supercars, in fact. Braking was excellent. Some people say that braking in this is too soft, like the paddle has to travel too far to engage. But remember, this isn't, like, if you're looking for this to be a track car, maybe that's true. But if you're looking to drive it every day on the street and enjoy it every weekend and enjoy it with your friends and your family and stuff like that, that's actually what you want. You want a normal driving car, and that's what this is. It's super comfortable, ergonomic, tons of tech. Rear view mirror is a camera, and it works flawlessly. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless charging, just all of the really cool, nice things, and that beautiful dash, which is like highly configurable. The front axle lift that has GPS, capability where it knows to lift whenever you're in the same point again, and that, by the way, works absolutely flawlessly, and it lifts the axle very quickly. Sometimes you forget even that's you're near that point, and it just works. This car just works, and it's beautiful, and the interior is just such a beautiful and special place to be. Again, I'm so sorry that this audio didn't record, but would I buy this car? Yes, absolutely. I think I'm going to wait for the Z06 because why not, right? If there's more good things coming, then why not? But I would love to get the convertible version, because this was the kind of the automatic top convertible, whatever you want to call that. Because I think it comes in two flavors. You can either snap and remove the top and put it in the trunk, or it comes in this flavor where you can click a button and the top folds back. And I'm sure that comes at a cost of some weight and whatnot, but realistically, it won't matter to me, and I think the Z06 will probably be the right, more special version of this, and I'll wait for that. I do want to have it. And now, do I prefer it over my GT4? I really think they're very different cars, but if I could only choose one of them, I would actually choose the C8. I think it is a better car. It is a much bigger, better package. If you're looking for just a track weapon, of course, the GT4 is probably your bag, but with an 8-speed kind of dual clutch transmission in this thing, it's really tough to argue that it's going to beat the hell out of anything around the track, including my GT4, which is a manual. I would never be able to keep up with anything, and not even close. It would probably lap me, in fact, in this Corvette. Again, you don't feel as planted around corners and things like that, but far better than any other Corvette you've ever driven in the past. Far, far better. The value proposition for this car is through the roof. It's insane. And even at the markup prices, okay? So if the sticker price for this car is $91,000. That's the sticker price, not with any markups. It's a fully loaded 3LT with Z51, and you can see every bit of it there. And when you're in this car and you're driving it, you know you're driving a more expensive car than that. So I think the dealer markups are actually that is the right value. I think this car is probably a $120,000 car if you were to really break it down, $130,000 even. You can't get anything better. I mean, what are you going to get? Think about it. Are you going to get an AMG or a BMW M car or a Porsche? None of those are going to give you everything this car does. They're not going to be convertibles and whatnot. Now, somebody pointed out a Tesla could beat this. Yes, it can. But if that's what you're into, if you're looking for an electric car, you're not looking at the Corvette, right? And you won't have a convertible. And you're not going to get this beautiful sound of this V8. Anyway, guys, again, I'm really sorry the audio didn't record on this one. I'm super upset about it. And I'm going to double check and triple check everything, but I don't have the car anymore, so I can't re-record the video, unfortunately. I already gave it back. Hopefully you enjoyed the video anyway. If you have any comments, leave them below. I'd love to hear from you. And if your comments are, oh, this shit video didn't record the audio, yes, I get it, and it hurts me more than it hurts you. I seriously wish it had, but it didn't. So it looks like I'm doing a quick launch here. Yeah, what a shame. I'm looking forward to the Z06, and I'm really looking forward to driving the C8 again. And I honestly wish I had one. I'm gonna start looking if I can find a deal somehow. But if not, you know, I'll get in line and I'll see if I can get into an allocation for a Z06. Look forward to hearing from you guys, and see you on the next one.